A very British coup. That's what Boris Johnson's critics are accusing him of after the Prime Minister moved to limit Parliament's opportunity to derail Brexit by cutting the amount of time it will sit between now and the scheduled day of EU exit on 31st of October. Mr. Johnson announced that sittings of the House will be suspended until the 14th of October, and the Queen has approved that plan this hour.
Now, the PM insists it's not about Brexit, but about bringing forward a new legislative programme.
That is completely untrue. If you look at what we're doing, we're bringing forward a new legislative programme on crime, on hospitals, making sure that we have the education funding that we need. And there will be ample time on both sides of that crucial October the 17th summit. Ample time in Parliament for MPs to debate the EU, to debate Brexit and all the other issues. Ample time.
His opponents disagree. They fear it means opposition MPs are unlikely to have enough time to stop the UK from leaving the European Union without a deal.
Opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn is vowing to do everything he can to prevent Mr. Johnson from, quote, smashing and grabbing the UK's democracy. Sources say the Labour Party leader has written to the Queen to express his concerns and asked to meet with her.
Today's developments have sent the pound down sharply. From London, Natalie Powell has more.
His critics don't really believe that that is the case. They have said that they believe the reason he is doing this is to try to reduce the amount of time that they have to essentially debate Brexit, or even perhaps to come up with some sort of process to avoid a no deal taking place, some sort of legislative process, for example. The opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn has called this reckless. He is actually suggesting that the government should call a new general election or indeed a second referendum. There is some suggestion, therefore, that a vote of no confidence in the government may be called for, but they will have to do it quickly. A few MPs are possibly looking into the process of legislating against the Queen's speech, but given that it's been signed off by the Queen herself, that looks fairly unlikely. But perhaps some of the harshest words have really come from the Speaker of the House of Commons, John Bercow, who has described this as a constitutional outrage. By saying this, he's saying that essentially the government is trying to prevent MPs, politicians, from paving that path for the country that those parliamentarians, those lawmakers are there to make, so calling it a constitutional outrage. So clearly it has not gone down very well with a number of Boris Johnson's critics.